For this project, I'm using all scrap 2x4's, and this is just wood that I had just laying around. And the design of this doll loft bed, I'm just designing it as I go and figuring out what size I need it as I go, and of course taking measurements of the doll. For the posts of the bed, I'm making them just under 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch square. And then I'm quickly sanding everything down just to knock off some of the splinter areas. I'm using my Craig jig, and this is to put pocket holes, so that way you can't see how we joined the two pieces together. I'm setting the Craig jig to 3/4 of an inch, the width of the board that I'm drilling into. That's a pocket hole. You get the screw, you can pop it in there, and then you drill it into place. I could have just left this bed a square box, but I wanted to give it a little bit more character, so I'm using some circle templates and marking off a little design and cutting it out with my jigsaw. Miss P wanted to help me out, so she's sanding some of the areas. From there, I took it to my router and rounded off all the corners. Now, to install the bottom portion of the bed, I'm using a 1/4 inch plywood, and then I'm using my table saw to make a notch that the plywood will slide into. Gradually moving my table fence over until the notch is a little over 1/4 of an inch. And then using a spacer to mount the bed, I'm using pocket hole screws to screw it all together. To join this bed together, I'm using glue, screws, and an 18 gauge nailer. Miss P also wanted a ladder, and so that's what I'm making here. Again, using just scrap milled down 2x4's and with my 18 gauge nailer and glue. After giving it a good sanding, Miss P also wanted to help paint the bed. And so a couple of requests that she had was a ladder and then also a desk, so that way her doll can do some work. Again, using scrap 2x4's and a scrap plywood, 3/4 inch plywood that I had. I finished the plywood with a white stain just to give it kind of a more finished look. And then tacked the tabletop on, and that was it. Overall, this was a pretty easy build. Just kind of designed it as I went and just kind of saw what material I already had on hand. And usually it's a bunch of 2x4's laying around that are too short to work with anything, but for something like this it was pretty perfect. Even though it was pretty much a last minute gift idea, this is something that last minute she said, hey, I want this loft bed. She saw in a catalog and I said, hey, I can make that, let me make it and give it to you for Christmas. I appreciate you guys watching. If you like this content, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.